evening. Agahozo-Shalom. Take away the toll-free of sin.
Thank you very much, Amani, as he opens the village time officially. Allow me firstly to recognize a few people in the room, very special people. We welcome Giants of Africa with a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Giants of Africa. In the same village time, we're going to be having basketball development associates and team of shooting touch coaches. A round of applause. We are very lucky, and hopefully we are going to be joined by the BK family. A round of applause for BK family too.
Oh, they're here. Amazing.
Let's welcome the first performer, which is live music. As the live performance is still working on the equipment, let's welcome Eric as a representative of sports in Agahozo-Shalom Youth Village. A round of applause to Eric as he walks to the stage.
Hello, Sandri. Today I want to take this opportunity and wish all warm welcome and just feel free in Agahozo-Shalom Youth Village. My name is Eric. I'm the Minister of Sports and Culture at ASYV. And anyways, I want to wish you a happy belated African Child Day, as we are still celebrating that happened yesterday. But before everything, I want to just tell you that in SYV, I want to tell you about the sports in SYV, actually as minister in charge of it, because first thing I have to tell you about the sports of SYV. In SYV, we have three aspects that made SYV sports, because we have discipline, teamwork, and then professional coaches that always help us as their mentors, because we can achieve everything that we have them coaches, right? And with those coaches, they are act as our mentors. They always be hard on us, give us a lot of hint about sports even the way we can just produce and make it as professional careers, because we came here as nothing in our mind about sports. They just give us help about to balance about the sports and academic aspects, because we always came here with blank mind about sports, but coaches they help us to give hints about sports and you can just balance sports and academic aspects. So another thing I would just tell you about is workout that we have always Wednesday, because some of us came here with almost dying about obesity. Now you can just see how I am today. I'm able to kick and play with everybody that I want. Another thing I will tell you about is Muchaka that we're always having during Saturday morning as also help us to be fit, because every footballer means to be fit in everything that you are doing. So if you do that kind of jogging, you're going just to be strong in your muscles. So after being strong in your muscles, you can be able to play that games. So that can be even help you to do it as professional players in the animal studies. Because yeah, and another thing also, yeah, I will appreciate you people. Feel free, you are most welcome in the family of Agahozo-Shalom Youth VG, and I'll keep wishing you the International African Kids Day. So thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone.
Something to remember, so that you won't forget. I was here, I lived, I loved, I was here, I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. Until I die, I know that I have something in somebody's life. The heart I've touched will be the proof that I live, that I made a difference. So this world will see I was here, I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything Je suis jeune. Produzimus. Narinzi ko gafatwa iyugurutse ukajya kure, none dore gafashwe mu mikino nyiri n'aha mu Rwanda. Abatamanyi bawa bambwiraga yuko kwitwa umwana ari ugufutika. Now they're in regrets until we meet again. Babonye nifunze, babona mfunze mu kijene.
They can never make me hate you. Even though what you wasn't grateful. Even though you up and looking so ungraceful, I'ma keep it moving because I'm graceful. Broken down and tired of living life, so we gonna work it out. And you can find the right love of living life, so we gonna work it out and move. So we gonna work it out and move. And I'll rise up, right like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. For you, and I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times for you. For you. For you.
Hello, ASYV. You ready? You ready? You ready? Hope you miss my flows, right? wanna make it on your own. And if you love us, I just know you'll never be alone. I hope that you get everything you want and not it chose. I hope it is the sweetest thing that you ever know. Hope you get it pretty, cause you're pretty at everything. Made it through the creams, every minute through the dreams. But when you get it all, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. One man can change the world. One man can change the world. All I wanted was 100 million dollars and a badge. You can imagine this so much, some nights I felt like that I had it. Back on a mattress, Saturday night I seen it, drunk on the dust bodies, I'm making another touch. So talk your dreams so for something I feel like drifted. No. Step brother used to feed her back side to side and quit like he was trashed. You Kim K, body bag, yeah. When you get it fast, mighty slow down, don't crash. We gotta drive either way, so it's still niggas. Look, think about it. Tell your team about it, go make me the daughter, scheme about it. Yeah, success is on the way, I feel it in that this thing is to look up and it's on. I'm like, that's too much, that different, I be shining, that be shining, that be. Ho, you get it? Get it? Oh, get it.
Falling for you, I found myself falling for you. Into the dark, I followed you. I should have known this and the trouble I go through. Me away, send 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 me away. Oh, I feel you, ABC. You tell me up and down and I'll follow you like ABC. You act like you went back, you went up here with me. I wish it could be, I wish it could be.
She asked me, Judy, do you like you when I cry? Do you consider my feelings when you lie? You put me second inside me down inside. You just go ride or die inside. You forget I was with you before the wreck scam, before the skank scam, before the plague scam, before you started getting money and your raps changed. I was with you when you were just think about changing your rap now. There's something now. Are you joking? Baby, I'm sorry. Are you joking? So much for convincing me to be out. I don't know why I bother with you when the play choosing. This music over me. It owns your emotions. It really have to give it your uneven devotion. And somehow my heart free self when you heard it. I cannot go on no broken.
You, I should have known this and the type of shit I go through. Send me away, 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 send me away. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
just one thing. I want to give her a diamond ring. She say and the guys like me. She made my heart beat like the boom. Next time we can now take you to Chrome. When we done we go I'm a boom. Hop on the wagon. If you say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us take a picture. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us take a picture. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us take a picture. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us a bumper night. When we move, it be you with the catch my cruise. You know the vibe, you know the groove. Oh, me why they miss my groove. She made my heart beat like the boom. Next time in can now take you to boom. When we done, we go I'm a boom boom. Hop on the wagon, baby say vroom vroom. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us you take a picture. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us you take a picture. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us you take a picture. Say cheese, take a picture. Strike a pose, make us you take a picture. Yeah. Oh, Nobody can touch you like that. Le, le, le. 'Cause you want to my love, oh. Oh yeah, check it out, yeah. She no want designer, she no want Ferrari. She not my love. Oh baby, belong to you, oh. Oh baby.
Amazing performances that have led us to this very own moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have something very special, a panel discussion. We are going to be led by ASYV Hirgwa Deborah. As she comes, she's going to welcome the four of our accomplished guests and our accomplished leaders as they host a panel discussion. Welcome, ASYV Hirgwa Deborah. The floor is yours.
My name is ASYV Hirgwa Deborah Meila, as I said, and it's a delight to be the moderator of the panel of today. Happy International Day of the African Child. As you're all excited for today, as we celebrate today, it's even a blessing to have with us today amazing speakers, leaders. In Audrey's current position at the Bank of Kigali, she is responsible for developing and implementing marketing and communication strategies that drive business growth, ensuring the bank maintains a positive brand image and its leadership position in the market. Audrey received an MBA, from Oklahoma University in the United States. Her favorite food is isombe and imizuzu. For those that don't know what imizuzu are, these are plantains. Her favorite hobby is interior design. And an interesting fact about Audrey is that when she was a kid, she wanted to be a doctor. Please listen to this. Because she wanted to help people until she realized that she couldn't stand blood and needles. We can relate, some of us. Thank you and you're welcome, Audrey. Ladies and gentlemen, with us we also have Emmanuel Huranga. Mr. Emmanuel Huranga is a self-taught painter and a mixed media expressionist. He is co-founder and owner of the Inema Art Center in Kigali and founder of Choose Kigali. Through his work, Huranga leads the country's growing creative industry. When Huranga started his career in art in 2009, Rwandans didn't consider art a serious economic pursuit. Huranga combined his strong business acumen with his artistic talent and took bold risks to ignite the contemporary art movement in Rwanda. These risks showed up that not only on the canvas, but in envisioning how the power of art could propel Rwanda into the global creative world. And today, Huranga is largely credited for creating Rwanda's thriving contemporary art industry. A round of applause to Huranga, you're welcome. We also have, and we're blessed to also have, Geraldine Umutesi. Ms. Geraldine Umutesi is the Deputy Director General of Imbuto Foundation with over 15 years of experience in strategic and project management in areas like family promotion, health, education, and youth empowerment. She has been a speaker and moderator in various national and international conferences, such as National Dialogue and the Commission of the Status of Women 2018 at the UN General Assembly. Geraldine is passionate about the human-centered programming and empowering communities. Her favorite food is rice and our traditional isombe. For those who don't know isombe, it's cassava leaves. And her favorite hobby is reading and listening to traditional songs. An interesting fact about Miss Geraldine is that she serves with commitment. Last but definitely not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Sarah Chan. Sarah Chan is a South Sudanese native and impacting the world of sports. She is a former basketball player, a women's rights activist, a development associate with Giants of Africa, and the first manager of African scouting for the Toronto Raptors, the 2019 NBA champions. Sarah's favorite food is injera, an Ethiopian dish. Her favorite hobby, which I know most of you share with her, is listening to music. And an interesting fact about Sarah is that from the age of 12, she grew up in a multicultural, diverse Christian community at African International University in Kenya, which helped her start her healing journey and shaped her view of the world. I welcome my amazing speakers today on the panel as we start our short discussion. I think as I was welcoming all of you, today earlier with BK, I think some of us heard it, who were there, they spoke about that no one ever arrives. Like when we say I've arrived, no one ever arrives, and we should never say we've arrived because we can, get settled and get comfortable. But with all that I've known about you so far, you have really worked so hard, and we're really happy and proud of you. So as I know I shared this question with many students, but how did you make it? How did you get here? How did you make it to be this successful? I think you can start with Audrey.
Thank you very much. So it's mine is a long journey. It's I think I will talk a little bit about my background in school. So as you said, I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid. Then as I was growing up, I realized that I can't be a doctor because I'm afraid of blood. I can stand blood, I can stand needles. Even when I take my kid for vaccination, I can't see it. The father has to hold him. I have to run away and yes. So then I changed my path. I wanted to do computer science. I couldn't do it. I ended up doing applied mathematics. So it was, I think I figured out what I wanted to do with my life later on because my path kept changing. So, but I think it was in 2013, that's when I started with marketing, and I was in telecom at that time. I did 5 years there, a lot of growth, then moved to aviation industry, and again, doing marketing, learned a new industry, and in between I did, of course, my master's degree in marketing, and later on I moved to BK. That was last year. So I've been in BK for 1 year, and it's really an interesting journey, definitely.
Thank you for that, Audrey. Please go ahead, Emmanuel.
Hello, thank you very much. I have to say, I'm really blown away with your performance tonight. It made me want to jump and dance with all you, but this is great. I want to thank also Sarah and Sarah again and you for inviting me. This is really crazy time for us. As you may know, we are organizing Commonwealth meetings. So it's a very little bit of a stretch for me to be here. But I know this school. I know I've been here before when I was the painter. I'm a painter, but I came here a long time ago. And there's so much growth here. I'm really, really, really delighted to be here. I inspired so many students when I was here. We talked about painting. I'm afraid that tonight I'm not going to paint, but definitely you have my number. I'll be here. So to not take too much of your time, so my philosophy is taking risks, as you guys say. You have to know what you really want. So every day you wake up, you have to know your whys and appreciate that you're alive. And what are your whys? So Once you know that, then everything takes it from there. I've interacted with so many people here, and every time I wake up, before I was as a student too, I was in your situation. I lost my mom at the early stage, and then we were 6 brothers. So I'm the second born in the family. I was 13 years. During the day of the burial ceremony, that's when I knew I'm gonna be a better man. So, yeah, just to say, to inspire you all, to tell you a little bit of my journey. Yeah, the little bit of my journey, I knew that every day I have to treasure that. And no one is going to teach you how to be successful. And then you have everything within, and then until you untap your full potential, and then you take every little bit of what you have as a project, and then you feel like you're very responsible for its success and its failure, then I think you can set yourself to be successful. So that's my philosophy around work. I can take in any project, and then I can fulfill it in a very meaningful way. So thanks.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Muraho. Amakuru. Nice to be here. Thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you so much, Agahozo-Shalom family. My name is Geraldine, as our moderator said. Umutesi. So when you are called Umutesi, you are loved by your family. And I assume you're going to love me, all of you.
Yes.
Because that is the meaning of my name, Umutesi. So for those who don't speak Kinyarwanda, Umutesi comes from the verb buteta. So which means everyone has to take care of you. So I was born from a family of 4, and I was really coming from a family that is ordinary, but I couldn't live well my childhood. And I really appreciate that today we are celebrating the Day of African Child, because all of us has a story behind our childhood. But my driving word is resilience. So in whatever you are going through, and throughout your career path, my driving word is resilience, and I wish you could also embrace the resilience, and I wish you to be resilient, because resilience helps you to overcome everything you are facing. So I'm happy to be here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
For me, I just fell and I'm here. Good evening. Good evening. It is such an honor, honestly, and I echo everyone here. I feel like they've already said my story in their own different ways, because all our stories are kind of interconnected. All our struggles are kind of similar, different, but just the same. There's no struggle that's less or more than another. I'm from South Sudan, as you can tell. Mine is just a little bit different. I grew up in in Sudan at the time. How many of you know the history of Sudan, of South Sudan and Sudan? By show of hands? Yeah? Alright, so really quickly, we went through a 21-year-old African civil war that ended in 2011. Yes, we're the youngest country in the world. And so grew up in the north where race was different. Religion was also another thing. Expelled from school because of my faith. My sister as well. And so I lived outside the house. It was different community, right? You felt like you didn't belong. You felt like you were different. You felt less. But at home, as poor as we were, and because of war, we were about like 35 in the house with very scarce resources. But there was so much joy in the little things. My mother was my first Sunday school teacher. They worked for a church. We did what we could to get by. There were times that we lacked. But as a child, let's be honest, sometimes you don't even know how it's supposed to be, so you don't see any difference, if that makes sense. So until we came to Nairobi at the age of 12, the multicultural community that I was speaking of, where we had a lot of people from Rwanda, a lot of people from Congo. Everybody was escaping some sort of thing, right? And we were a community. But then Sudan is in Arabic, and this is English and Swahili. I was sweating. And so kids would play outside, and my mother would try to push us to go play, but we would, like every time we heard the door knock, we would run in the rooms and all hide under the bed, and I'm serious. We didn't want to speak English, we didn't want to interact, we didn't want to feel any different, because already where we were coming from, we were being shown that we were different. Started playing basketball there. I didn't like it at first, but somebody saw something in me, and I fell in love with the game, but I also saw just how hard my parents were working to keep us in school. We were 4. 2 older brothers, myself, and a younger sister. Through resilience, you fail and you get up. You fail 100 more times and you get up again. And I'll point out the song that was sang, I think, by Inez, that says, I rise up again. And I teared up because all of you right here are soldiers, and you're warriors, and you're overcomers. And my story is just like each and every one of you's story. It's the same, but it's different. You keep on, you fall, you get right back up again, and you do it 100 times, and you succeed.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for that. My second question goes to Ms. Geraldine. Our country passed through tragic history. We had the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. How do you overcome the sadness and grief of being a genocide survivor to go on each day and become a successful and additive member of the community? And also, you also mentioned about resilience as your driving word. So, yeah, how do you...
Thank you so much. Difficult and a simple question. Thank you so much. As I said, I'm Geraldine. I was born on 7th April, and in 1994 was my 17th anniversary, but I couldn't celebrate it because you know what happened in Rwanda. But that was not the starting point, because my family started to be aggressed as early as 1994. So I was born, raised, and survived in Rwanda. And today I survived with my young sister. The way I managed to overcome the consequences and the hardship was because of the story of my older sister during the genocide. I'm sorry, I don't want to bring emotions, and I don't want to create, because today we are celebrating, right? Yes? Are you strong so I can share? Say this. Do this so I can see that you're strong. Thank you so much. So here's the story. I have been saved by my older sister. When the killers came to the place where we were, so she realized that really I was scared, and she was taller like Sarah. And can you hear me? Thank you. So she was taller when I saw, yes, like Sarah. Her name was Yvonne. So Yvonne could realize that really I'm not going to survive. And the killers were surrounding the place where we were. So she put me down and lay at my back. And she has been killed at my back. So the reason why I survived and I tried to overcome the challenges of the survival was really that strength of my sister Yvonne. And that 1 second thinking of taking care of me, as I said, my name is Mutesi, so I was the youngest at the family and the most loved in the family. So I think that reaction of 1 second really is the one that is really driving me. If she managed to protect me in a difficult moment like that, why and what can I do to protect all of you, to help my young sisters, to help my survivors communities? That was really something that helped me to overcome everything. And I went to school after the genocide, and I have my sister who was not able to overcome the challenges and the trauma around genocide. So I had to take care of her alongside with other survivors. So it was a difficult moment. When we went to university, it was hard. We had a very big number of dropouts, and we had difficult moment. So we created a structure that is called a family under the Association of Genocide Survivors, ARG, Association des étudiants rescapés du génocide. And I have been among the pioneers of that family concept, because we wanted to give a sense of family. We wanted to bring back that feeling of being in a family. So in a family of ARG, you have a father, you have a mother, and you have the siblings. So we started like that, and I was among the pioneers to drive that. So the reason why I overcome all this difficult moment was that I have to honor and tribute to my sister and other resilient people, victims of genocide, who died, but trying to fight and trying to resist. So in return, I have to be resilient for my brothers and sisters. So I went to school. I graduated from the university. I went to work to Kigali Genocide Memorial in 2004. It was really hard to work there, living with the scars of genocide, but that was really my mission, and it's still my mission, by the way. Then in 2006, I went for a recruitment process to get a job at the office of the First Lady. And in 2006, I've been recruited to be a project officer. That is a simple stuff where you start from one project, managing one project,
And then later I became a project coordinator. That means that you are coordinating many projects. Then later I became the Deputy Director General of the foundation. And when you have such role, you also serve as the Deputy Private Secretary of the First Lady in charge of programs. But I don't want you to stay only on that process of growing as to become the Deputy Director General. I wanted you to keep in mind that when you want to overcome any challenging moment, the word resilient and the word giving back to your community is really very important. Here you are at Agahozo-Shalom. You have been given a chance to nurture your talents, to discover who you are. So in return, you have to do the same for people who are not able to access school, who are not able to overcome any challenge they have in life. So in a nutshell, I wish you to be resilient every time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think who'd say Imhore, we recognize all your hard work and we will put our steps in yours. Sarah Chan, as an African woman, what does June 16, the Day of the African Child, mean to you? What can we do for African children, girls in particular, to get quality education?
That is a very deep question. Thank you for that question. The first part of it, as my job, like everybody else here, I had a why. And my why was getting the privilege to go and be somewhere where there was peace and be able to access education. Because as we speak, it's still girls where I come from that are denied education because some families are still a little bit traditional minded and think that if you put a girl to school, she will be spoiled. It's a myth that we are trying to debunk. So my why, and even the reason that I ended up in sports, although I didn't like it in the beginning, was because it was a right that I could exercise. And so the two, sports and education, was a right, but then also a privilege for me because of where I came from. And my why had always been the little girls around not just South Sudan, but in Africa that cannot access education and sports. That was it. That was my why. Every time I stand to do whatever it was, every time education or class, and we all know it will be tough at some point. There's some classes you're good in and others you're not. But what that same privilege to be able to access education or even hear about it. So doing each and every bit personally and trying to advocate and trying to preach that to other people to see the importance of education is what I feel is my contribution, but collectively as a people is our contribution, not just to Africa, but to the world. And all of you sitting here, we went from South Sudan, from a civil war, to Kenya and got education. And this is what my father used to say. Education will one day be your father and your mother, so you better study. We are in Kenya to get an education, and we go back home to give back and help people that remained. So never forget. Okay? And he also threatened us. Every time you did something wrong, he said, I will send you back to the village. We all know African children, eh? I will send you back to the village. We are here for one thing, it's education, and we're going back to help. So I grew up with that mentality. And so as I sit here, not just for me, but all our collective responsibility. Education is just, it's not only in classrooms. Education is here. Okay? So it's all our responsibility to advocate and also do your part. And I ended up doing my bit also through a national NGO where I target women and girls from South Sudan. And one of my favorite things that I will say is this young girl that grew up in Kakuma camp, refugee camp in Kenya. Through sports and education and supporting her through that national NGO, she was able to come to Nairobi. She's now in university and she's graduating very soon. And she has started going back to her community to do the same through basketball, on and off the court, using education as a tool to try and help. It's that chain. I help somebody, somebody helps the next person. And it's all our responsibility. If we do that together, then Africa changes.
Powerful. Thank you very much for that. Time is not our best ally, but I know our visitors will always be here for, once you're in the village, this is always your home. And I would like to welcome two people from the audience, I think one from this part and the other one from that part, to quickly give ask the questions. Yes, Jean-Luc? From there, do you have someone with a question? Yes, Isabelle.
Please, we came here. Hello? We came here for you, so please ask some questions.
There's a question there.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I had two questions, maybe different people, but I can ask no problem. I want to ask the founder of Inema Art, what do you think Rwanda has learned from past 13 years as we started in Inema Art Center? Like, what do you think has Rwanda learned from your project as Inema Art? And also I want to ask the Imbuto Foundation, how can you vary, because I would say, if I remember, as I have read from the PSFA that started 2000, and now we are celebrating now almost 22 years of the impact of Imbuto Foundation, starting from the PSFA. Like, what do you think Imbuto Foundation has done to the Rwandan community? We, as the children of Agahozo-Shalom, are also reflecting through the Seagull Foundation. Maybe for those that doesn't know, also helps Agahozo with Imbuto together. What do you think has been the impact of Imbuto Foundation in Rwanda? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would request that they first ask the questions and then I'm noting them down. We could answer them after, if it's okay with you. Is it? Thank you very much, Isabelle.
Good evening, everybody. I'm by names of Isabel, and I'm in Senior 5. So, my question goes to Sarah. Sarah, how did you find your unique gift, and how did you make it life-changing to so many other youth around the world? Thank you.
All right. I think we can start with the first question that was asked to Mr. Emmanuel. It says, what has Rwanda learned from the Inema Art Center?
Yeah, to answer your question is the philosophy behind the art was you can't have a innovative society when people are not creative. So looking at what these guys are doing, as a painter, I always knew there's so much. Art is not an entertainment, it's creativity. Okay, so when you rephrase that, when God was creating, He started by creating. So that comes from a creative mindset, which gives you a little bit of a personal to be aware of yourself, awareness, and it's through that consciousness that carries you on. So 2005, that's when the idea of creativity was happening. 2010, I was lucky to work with Nike, and I worked with Mark Parker, who himself is a CEO for Nike. He said, go back home. I would like to support you. I would like to work with you here, but I would like you to first go home and create a gallery and inspire some people. So understanding your question is, what does Inema Art Center did since then, and how is it impactful for the community? To answer that, when I came here in 2012, I worked with my brothers, most of you guys know, and the key was, one, you can attain high-level education, which is fantastic, and two, you can also do something, but you have to do everything on the highest level. And I established a gallery, which is in Inema Art Center, and now it's still in business. And then through Inema Art Center, I started another program to mentor kids, for them to fulfill their potential through art with a mission program. It's a program to train kids to do art. And then 2019, I established what we call it Choose Kigali. Most of you have been there. We have had different events there, from BAL, you know, the Office of First Lady, and a few more other events there. But the key is, we have to demonstrate that Rwanda has a creative industry.
True.
And then every product you make is valuable. So it's not for fun. It's a valuable commodity. And we've been able to export, as far as Made in Rwanda is concerned, we export valuable commodities in the country. And then two is we are focused on mentoring and creating platforms, studio spaces where people can also learn and exhibit their work. While I was with Sarah today, the number one thing I said, all these artists, we can showcase or do exhibit and you know, show who they are, and that way they can be, you know, demonstrating and exhibiting their talent on the highest level.
Yeah.
So as I'm answering your question, there's so much as needs to be done, but everything, it's not being taken for granted. I want you guys to hear me clearly, because this is very important for you. So don't take it for granted, even if it's art, even if any project, whether music has so beautiful talent, basketball, you have the potential for that, and it's within you, and you can elevate to your next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that. Everything you do is a valuable commodity. Thank you very much. The question I went to Ms. Geraldine said, what is the impact of Imbuto Foundation to the Rwandan community?
Thank you so much for the question. Who is age 20 in the audience? No one? So Imbuto Foundation is a twin to Sarah. We are now 20 years, and who knows the meaning of Imbuto in English? A seed. You can see how many seeds we have here. This is already the impact. One of the impacts of the Imbuto Foundation, Her Excellency the First Lady of Rwanda, when she started the Imbuto Foundation, she really came up with a philosophy. That philosophy says, when a seed is planted in a very prepared ground, watered, nurtured, it is grown into a very strong tree, which cannot be shaken by something else. So you are the seeds of this country, because we are lucky to have Rwanda, and we are happy to have Rwanda back. I think I shared the Rwanda I was born in, like the way Sarah shared. So you have been lucky to be born in a new Rwanda, and you have to continue being the seeds of this country. So the impact of Imbuto Foundation is from the all the generations. We started with the women raped during the genocide and infected with HIV. So today they can access treatment. They can really live like anyone else. We started with helping young people like you who are coming from disadvantaged families to access schools. And one of the impact is that we are supporting the education for all. And if you are here today, you can see that's the seeds of education. And also, we have different programs related to youth empowerment. When you are not empowered, even if you are having different degrees or PhDs, but one thing is very important. Think about your values. Stick to your values. One of the Imbuto Foundation impact was to instill values in young Rwandans to make sure that we really continue to stick to our new Rwanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. We are the seeds of this country. Thank you very much, Mr. Aldin. The question from Isabel said to Sarah, how did you find your unique gift and make it life-changing to so many other youths around the world?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. I'll be honest with you. I was the tallest child in school. And the principal thought to himself, everybody has to play some sort of sport. First of all, they told me, hey, do you want to join a sport? I said, no, thank you. I just want to walk around and do nothing. And he said, it doesn't work that way, so I'll use my power. He went back and he made it mandatory in school for everybody to take up a sport. I thought I had a choice. But somebody saw something in me that I hadn't seen in myself yet. That's where it started. And I listened. I tried to dodge. I tried to swim. I almost drowned. I tried other things. It didn't work. Then I saw people playing basketball. And so I joined. And I started to fall in love with the game. My coach was an Ulinzi Warrior basketball member. And he didn't look at us as girls or didn't look at us as gender. He just taught us what we were supposed to learn, and he was hard on us. So discipline, I enjoyed that because, man, I was getting better. Fast forward, it started to give me opportunities. Then later on, I'm doing my master's. I have 2 weeks to go, and I think to myself, oh, let me volunteer, because one of the things that I always knew, or that was ingrained in us by our parents, and especially mom, was don't waste time. Tomorrow is not promised. Thank you. Thank you. You can clap, it's fine. So I had 2 weeks to go, and I didn't know what to do with that. So I decided to look for basketball opportunities that I could go be around young people like yourself, teach, but also learn something. And I volunteered to a camp that was coming up. I had no idea whose camp it was, but I was told, oh, this person is is directing the camp. And so I go into the camp and I enjoy myself because it's basketball, and around sports or around anything talent, you always learn something and you always teach something. There's always an exchange. So fast forward, later on, I get a call from somebody who I didn't even know that happened to be Masai Ujiri. And he wanted to meet. And I said, okay. And he told me that your passion surpasses you. And we like how you've interacted and how you've just been really passionate about what you're doing, and would you want to be part of the Giants of Africa team? And I was like, yoo-hoo! I was a broke student. I mean, it was still volunteering and all of that stuff, but it was an opportunity to learn more and to grow.
but it's passion that sets you where you should be. But you also have to put in the work. So ended up being with them, and it led up to the job that I have today. And being around this, all around Africa, is nothing but a joy and an honor to me. Being around young people, learning from everything that you guys already know, it surprises me every time. So that's why. And going back again to the home teaching from my parents, they always told us that your talent should be able to serve you, should be able to serve others, and should bring glory to God. And if it doesn't do that, then you are not doing anything significant. So that's why.
Thank you very much. It's passion that gets you where you should be, but you should also put in the work. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me to thank our amazing speakers for today. And don't we want them to come back? Yes.
We'll come back by force.
Please come back. This was an informative and inspiring and very interesting session. And we look forward to many, many more for years and years. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to welcome the MC to continue with today's schedule.
An amazing wonderful discussion, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause again.
Indeed, we are inspired and we should indeed put in the work. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be complemented by a speech from a representative of ASYV students, and that is none other than Flower Castillo.
From a continent is the victim of colonization, genocide, and wars. We are fruits that overcome and how life can go. Our attitude is towards it defined. It may take dancing in woods or playing in mud.
Sometimes we overcome hunger with songs and drums. And now we are celebrating we are celebrating that honor with songs and dances. We acknowledge that it takes the village to raise a child. Our happiness is in the bond we realize that strength and hope. I welcome you all, and I appreciate the visitors, my colleagues. I appreciate you all for this evening, and I ensure you and happiness, inspiration, and more strength. Happy International African Child.
Les enfants d'Afrique, crying out in vain, crying out for help, crying out for all the mystery that have refused to be history. For he, she is an African child. She had grudges within her. He fought battles he never chose to be part of. They hustled to be succored and heard. For I am an African child. My voice was ignored. My skin was resurrected. My cries were never heard. Parce que je suis l'enfant d'Afrique. Dreams trapped in me. Dreams to change. Dreams to rise. Rise from fears and fails and figures that have been forged. And now the fate brought the feet together. Buretse gato. We fell. Akunukuri. No one can take away what Timana himself gave us. The gift of a lifetime. The freedom to be us, no longer afraid to be us. Wait, count up to 9 and highlight the nights she spent. She spent chasing freedom to light the star within her. Ariko twagize gutya, twikubita agashi, tumenya abo turibo. It was hard. We rose from the ashes of deserted history. Us, the children of Africa, uniquely gifted, black and talented. You gonna get with it or break me with it? You feel me? Yes, I feel you. Remember it, know it, own it. You're an African child.
The stairs, can't even make it there. No, we ain't gonna make it to my bed.
wake up. Bonito kala, kala go yellow. Don't walk, you don't try. You supposed to be jai. Kill up, come, person matter, person we don't mind, boy. When I land softly on the sofa floor. So far, so good, money by jump. Let me see you, oh, lo, let me see you. Relaxou.
beads on my neck, like a pussy mayonnaise. All I know she dripping crack. When I was in jail, she left me gone like a man. If she get greedy, I'ma starve for the cat. Top gang, it's upset. But a nigga, I ain't coming yet.
افرحوا طير يا قلبي. All the baddies feeling on my songs. Talking my shit, you know what I'm on. Big bangs with a big on. When I touch it, can't do nothing wrong. Naming bells, no intercom. Body banging, busting up the phone. Giving sloppy toppy with my bolly on. They kill on me, baby, nothing long. Never regular. I be running this shit like a senator. All these niggas be ringing my cellular. You a 5, don't you know I'm a 10 and I spot them dead enough. Know you love it, suki suki. Eat the pussy like a pussy. No, you ain't it for the cookie. Need a pro, no rookie. Baby, dip. Well, I shake that shit. Baby, dip. Can you make it dip? Baby, dip. Well, I shake that shit. Baby, dip. Can you make it dip? Ganda,
Je suis gênant. It's DJ Higa and DJ Rusam. Rutquitimos Country Records.
Check. Amazing. An amazing performance, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. Modern dance and our very own culture in beauty and in creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, the next phase of this village time is rather very interesting since we are going to be cutting a cake. Ooh, exactly. We are going to be cutting a cake in the honor of an African child. I have seen the cake. I haven't tasted yet, but I can tell it's delicious and has the African rhythm. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have the cake cutting. Thank you.
ASYV. So thank you. Normally we used to bring here cake because we are celebrating birthday celebration, but now we are celebrating International African Child. So as ASYV family, our parents helps us to enjoy ourselves for this day. They help us to stand for ourselves, to fight for our right. Every child has a right to education, to play, and other things. So, is that why I welcome our guests and help us to cut the cake as a sign of enjoying as ASYV student family. So, thank you.
nanjye nditungura erega nanjye sijye bute iyo wirebye ese ubibona ute ko twese twumiwe ubu nigera abaye umufana agize ukuvugana muhana if you come for my baby bitambigisi I want your energy tuma numva ndi hano body mind define mon bébé d'amour I love the way you are please don't change anything kundukura I swear mon bébé d'amour igikobwa yo my igikobwa oh you want everything you're my energy oh you I love your energy tuma numva ndi hano body mind define mon bébé d'amour
An amazing session of cutting the cake in the honor of the African child. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud of being African children. And as we are going to be welcoming the artists to present to us their creative work, we are going to be sharing Bango and Juice. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, Bango. True. The excitement is well shared. And amazing. Yes. The excitement is amazing, but as we mentioned Bango, people following us on live are not understanding well what Bango actually means. Bango is mandazi or donuts. That is why you can see the excitement in a lot of people's faces. Well, without further ado, bon appetit, and let's welcome the artists.
Yes.
I am from Konikorao ubaza abagenzi nangiye vuba ibya romance eren ku cyaro amakesh nararunze iby'inkumi sinabashaga gusa uyarandaruye I'm in love again sinyita ku marumaje ndatekanye no wahala.
Amazing. A round of applause to the artists. Amazing work. As you can see, the paint is still wet and the creativity is still fresh. Let's welcome JL and the partner, plus the people here to explain their artworks. Starting from within. What does your art mean and portray?
Hi everyone. Okay, thank you for welcoming me here. and I would like to explain more about this art piece you see here, and as we remember and consider the African Child Day. So what we have brought here in demonstration is, for us, we have defined the African child as the kid who tries to multitask more of the responsibilities that are that overpower him or her. It can be a boy, it can be a girl, but we usually face those responsibilities that are of our ages. Me as a kid of Africa, I'm able to take care of my siblings. I'm able to go and take care of home. And as you see, the kid here, she's carrying her sibling. So, and she's playing. At the same time, she's going to fetch from, she was from fetching firewood. So, the girl here, she's really responsible, and as you see, she's young and need to be taken care of. So we as an African child, we have the right to be educated, and we have the right to play. We have the right to, we have the right to have the right like other kids, not to work or to overwork the responsibilities that overpower us. So as we celebrate the African Child Day, this is our art piece that we have brought here in demonstration. And happy African Child Day.
An amazing artwork, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, we can say the responsibilities of an African child give us the identity. And remember, in the gap, we have to always remember the rights of a child. An amazing artwork. A round of applause to Wivin and the team. Let's welcome Jael as he explains his very beautiful artwork.
Thank you. My name is Jael. I'm here to explain this artwork. So the idea was to welcome Giants of Africa in ASYV, and you're welcome.
Amazing. They wanted to welcome the Giants of Africa, and I am sure they feel welcomed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we have to conclude this amazing evening. But indeed, it was an amazing one. As we conclude, I would like to thank everyone who participated, but I would not say much. Let's welcome our very own Tonto Alois, who is going to welcome us the guest of honor. Tonto Alois on the stage, and let's have music.
Okay. Even Vanny remix from New Era producer X. Runtown DJs, Billy Money Boy, Mr. Trace.
Hello, ASYV family. It is indeed a honor and a privilege tonight to have a blessing from our guest tonight. So as you are enjoying bangos and juice, we need also to request a kind attention, because we are going to close this amazing event. So on the behalf of ASYV family, we want to extend our gratitude to all our guests tonight, from BK family, Giants of Africa, Imbuto Foundation, Shooting Touch coaches. With our students, they enjoyed. And plus, I think we do have also other guests that we want to also recognize tonight. And also to extend our mega thanks to Sarah, who coordinated the team to be here tonight. We've had great support. That's why you've seen that ASYV was enjoying. Really appreciate your support. It was really a honor, and this makes ASYV unique. And to our young generation, you were blessed to have this wonderful facility that allows you to interact with people across the world in order to learn from them through their experiences. And let's join together and to thank our guest tonight. Really, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate being together so that we shape this younger generation so that they acquire skills through mentorship that was taking place here so that they can be able to realize their dreams. So I want to take much of your time, but I want to request our guest tonight to join me on a stage so that she can deliver the key message of tonight. Sarah?
Already know. Bemuko, we wanna mwikimuko.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I did not know we have some dancing fans out here. This little one, I will recover for 3 days. You have all been amazing, and it is such an honor. Honestly, we're all blessed to be here. On behalf of Giants of Africa, we're so honored that you could be here this evening to celebrate the International Day of the African Child, your day. Education is at the heart of everything that Giants of Africa does, and that's why this day is very important to us. Today honors the brave children of Soweto, South Africa, that had to protest for education, the equality of education, on June 16th, 1976. And this was during violence. Okay? So we are here as a reminder and to raise awareness for the ongoing need for education for every youth, because education is a fundamental human right. And we're here also to serve as a kind reminder to all our leaders in Africa, to all our governments on the continent and around the world, on the importance and just how essential education is on the long-term social development. That's why we're here, period. And we want every youth to dream big, and education is the most powerful tool to make those dreams a reality. So thank you again, and you've been great. I'll just ask you to do one thing with me, and kindly, if you forget anything that was said up here, remember these things, okay? I want everyone to rise to their feet. I know the mandazi is good. Stretch it out, don't hit people. I want you to mean it from your heart and say these 3 things. I am a dreamer. I am a leader. I am a giant. Now I want you to say it like you're full with mandazi. Okay? I am a dreamer. I am a leader. I am a giant. Let's go one last time. I think you can do better. I am. You forgot. I am a dreamer. I am a leader. I am a giant. I am a giant. I am a giant. Clap for yourselves.
Before she go.
Shabbat Shalom.
I lead one.
Hello. I would love to call upon a team from those who are going to perform on Tuesday. Please come here on the stage. I want to stay with you a little bit. Thank you.
Guys, twumvikane gato mpande matangazo. Those who tomorrow, for those who are in college preparation, they are starting at 10. All senior 4 and senior 5 students who are in the ASYV college preparation program, they have a class at 10. Ababambure bose bahifoshi from EY to senior 6 bose basigaranga barabakeneye. Ejo muchaka